It's a rainy day, guys. It takes me back to when I was taking philosophy at Utah State, and I would go walk the cold walk all alone up to Old Main and find some empty classroom and walk inside and take all the whiteboard markers and draw some advanced idea that I felt like captured the emotion of complexity. Basically, I just feel like life is this complex thing, and if you can somehow create your personality with some vision that you have, then basically nobody can take that away from you the more that you actually do that. And then upon doing that, come across some random instruments in some room and play some tunes, and then write some stories and read them too. Sit by the flowers on some ledge at the coffee shop. Yo, thank you for the like. Go take some chalk and draw some chalk art. Somebody asked me today why I kind of felt like everything relates to God. And, a lot of my beliefs stem from obviously my experiences, And that year I took philosophy. And there was somebody in my class, you know what I mean? Like, as soon as you take philosophy in school with all the college kids that are individual, like they're on their own, like they're very independent, you get very radical ideas. And one kid in my class raised his hand and he was like, I want to become God. You get people that will literally say the most insane things, and it's appropriate in a philosophy class. As long as you're obviously, respecting certain boundaries and people's rights and whatever. But yeah, it was like the third day in and some guy raised his hand, and when we were asked, what is our expectation of this class? And he said, I want to become God. So what does it mean when the conversation then flows in that direction and you're in a place, in a space where you're very alone and you're trying to understand how all of this works, how everything fits together? What is your place in all of this? What is real? What is not? Is God some far-fetched thing? And does it always mean ridiculousness, or does it follow some sense of science, like physics? God is just light, and at the center of it all, before anything was, everything that happened already was, except for it didn't happen because it was a single point. And from this point, traveling in all places. Nice new channel name. Yo, what's up? Yeah. Yo, what's up, GG? What's up, Alien? Yeah, I uploaded a video to it as well. It's gonna be way different than this channel, guys. Like, way different, because I'm just gonna keep it as like clipped gaming videos and stuff. To break up my rant there, guys. I was really going like strong for a minute. Yo, what's up, Clouds? But yeah, the new, I was thinking, Alien, because I saw your comment, how it was like not really a gaming channel, but I was thinking like, it's just, well, I'll tell you what, it's kind of a habit on YouTube, because if I'm being honest with you, get a gaming tag. Yeah, well, I was thinking like saying in like my banner, have it say like get good, like GETGUD. And then below that, going the other way, it says good theory. So get good, good theory. But in like the gaming world, like telling somebody like get good is like a pretty popular thing to tell someone. So I just thought like, okay, I'll do like good, but I'm gonna spell it in like the gaming way, And so it's like good theory, like gaming. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I spelled it G-U-D and not G-O-O-D. That's why I spelled it that way. But I uploaded one video to it already. It was like, I tried to do like a funny clip video of like still more improvement from the current one. Yeah, this one was like, dude, I literally woke up from a dream. I literally had a dream and I was like, in my dream, I named a YouTube channel Euphoric Intentions. So I woke up and I named it that. Like literally that's what happened. Make mashups. Yeah, I like the one, you'll have to tell me what you think of the one on there. Be honest with me, you know what I mean? Like, be honest, because it's very basic. Like, it's like I did like funny clips kind of thing, but it's like a compilation. It's like a compilation video. But yeah, I have one video on there. You guys will all have to tell me what you think about it on my other channel. The link is in my community tab under, it's called Good Theory. Your channel name should be the one people call you with. I know, but there's a lot of channels where it's like, hey, this is Austin with Good Theory or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, my name's Austin and I'm here, I'm with, don't upload more than one video. Yeah, I won't. I'll just do the one today. I won't upload more than one. They'll like ban you if you do that kind of. Like, this is what was done. Oh, so do you want to make the face and I'll You like the look of it? Yeah, I'll do some more artwork and like I saw Alien said like make a like a intro video. So maybe I'll try to like make up a song and like make some like animation where I can put at the front of the videos as well so it looks more professional, you know? Maybe I'll try to do that. Yeah, I won't upload a lot. I just recorded some gaming footage today and I made a clipped like video of it. That's all. Just like a clipped video. AI generated images. Yeah, I already used one. I'll see. I'm pretty good. Like in school, I took like the Adobe class. So I worked with like Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Premiere and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll look into using AI for the banner for sure. But all the Adobe products, like in school, you got to use them for free, but they cost so much money when you're not in school or whatever. I know, I'd have to pirate it. Basically, if I did, I'd have to like torrent it. If you guys know what torrents are, I'd have to torrent it with like Pirate Bay or something. Yeah, GG, let me know what you think of the video too. If it's actually funny or whatever, you know. Alien, you'll have to tell me if it's actually funny. Clouds, you'll have to tell me. Like I said, the name of the channel is Good Theory, GUDTHEORY. Talk about that in stream. Okay, then I won't. I just figured like in the internet community, it was just like common knowledge or something, you know? Like Pirate Bay or whatever. Pirate Bay, ISO Hunt. All that stuff. I just, like, I guess I'm a nerd. I'm like a big nerd. Bigger nerd than I thought. Good Theory. Yeah, I was just thinking like, yeah, it's easy to say too, right? I just figured it was, you think it's cute? Don't talk, yeah, I won't talk about it. So I hope everybody's day is going good, but I worked on that project. I tried to make it like an entertaining video. It's like 10 minutes long, you know? It doesn't have too much like fancy editing in it. Like I could probably do more with like some scene changes and like zoom ins and stuff like that. I just wanted to get a video on there because I know I've been telling everybody that I was gonna get a video on there. So I wanted to do that like as quick as I could, you know? So there's one on there. But I do actually have Adobe Premiere. Like I pay for that, so that's what I use to edit my stuff. But it's a nice rainy day here. As you can tell, it's just been raining all day. It's like super wet outside. It's been pretty gloomy. Woke up. I'm like thinking of what I'm gonna do on this channel still, because it's like I want to still do things on this channel, you know, but I think I'm just gonna keep it like pretty random. I think I'm gonna keep this one because I think some people like the fact that it's like they can come on here and they don't know what I'm gonna be uploading, you know what I mean? Maybe it's like a weird video, maybe it's like something interesting, you know, like I'll do videos of like stuff that I think I'm interested in or whatever. So I'll do that. I'll just try and keep it like pretty random and chaotic in here, because that's what it's been, you know, like just like whatever comes into my head. Like I almost made that movie of like The Life of a Dollar, and I was gonna like use my iPhone and like put slime in a wallet and like have it be born out of a wallet. And I was gonna like film me pulling it out with like fishing line so it like came out of the wallet, and like I was gonna do all this like weird stuff where like the dollars like looks over and sees like credit cards, and it's people that have like plastic surgery in the dollars world. I was gonna do like this whole thing. I'll keep doing random stuff like that in here for everybody. Every once in a while I'll do something like that, and I'll keep doing the like live streams and chats and stuff, so we can all talk about, we can all talk about whatever, and I'll keep it crazy in here basically. So I'll just keep it crazy. But anyways, I hope everybody's having a good day. Yo, what's up, Presley? Yeah, nightcap. Well, after this stream ends, replace the part where I talk about Adobe with the song. Yeah. I don't know if I'm a big enough channel yet to be like slapped for talking about that. It's around 8 minutes. All right. Thanks. But yeah, I don't know. Like in Utah, it just gets so like dark so fast, and it's like so cold. It like gets dark at 5, but it's like I still have like 5 hours. If I have a drink, better be safe than sorry. Yeah, you're right. I know. I just like that's kind of been the history of this channel. Maybe that's why I've never made it really big on this channel, is because I've always just been really open about like talking about everything on here, whether it's politics or religion or like, you know, other things in life kind of thing. Maybe I have been kind of like unrecommended or something, because it's like been all over the place. Yeah, it looks like Wyoming. Yeah, I mean, Utah, it's like surrounded by all these mountains. My dad is actually from Wyoming, and my mom, like I kind of grew up in a cowboy family, if you really want to know. Like on my mom's side, yo, thanks for the like. On my mom's side, they're all like rodeo people. Yeah, my channel has been zero filters, like for sure, you know. But it wasn't like I started this professionally. It was just like I was just vlogging, like, and I was like doing my daily, like, journal entry, basically, you know. A Moonlight Saga. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, it gets dark around 5, so I'm just like, I still have 5 more hours, so I'm grabbing a drink, you know, because there's still 5 more hours in the day, but it's just dark, so I gotta like have something to look forward to at the end of the day. Yeah, the filters on YouTube are crazy. I got slapped by a filter like a while back, and I actually went through my channel and deleted a bunch of stuff. Like my channel, actually, I went through and like filtered a bunch of it already. But yeah, Utah's like Wyoming. Basically, there's lots of mountains all over, lots of farmers. Yeah, my family's been around the rodeo a lot. Like my mom's family, they all have horses, and like they all ride horses. Have you ever watched anime? Yeah, like Dragon Ball, Bleach, Gundam, One Punch Man. What else? Like Dorohedoro, Toradora. Like I've watched tons of anime, man. I'm like a nerd. I'm like a super nerd, dude. You're scared to stream a game because it has drops of blood? Yeah, that's why I kind of feel like my channel has been unhinged, basically. Because like I said, I didn't start it as like, oh, I'm doing this like to make money. Basically, I just started it because I was like doing a vlog of like my life, you know. Berserk, I've heard of Berserk. I've never actually watched it or read the anime or read the manga, but people always tell me, they're like, yeah, you open up the first page of Berserk and it's just like all nudity or something. What time is it? 5:49. Yo, what's up, Laura? Welcome. 5:49 here. Yeah, my family's all been, yeah, the weeb of Utah, right? Well, the thing is, the weird thing is, in my school that I went to in high school here, it was like most of the athletes, like a lot of them were nerds. Like half the football team played like World of Warcraft or whatever, and everybody grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. I don't know if there was like some weird advertising that like happened around my like city, but like late at night after Cartoon Network, it was like Funimation, like Adult Swim would come on, and Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball, and like Naruto, and Inuyasha, and like shows like that would come on. It's actually 6:50. For you, it's 6:50. Nice. But like everybody around here grew up watching all that stuff. And the funny thing is like nobody here thought it was like Asian culture. It was just like, because it was on our televisions here, like everybody was tuned in to like over the air or whatever here, and it's like that's what they aired. Your one anime is Copeland. But everybody here grew up like watching all that stuff. So if you wear a Dragon Ball Z shirt around like this town, it's like everybody knows what it is. Or if you go to the gym wearing it, everyone's like, yeah, Goku or whatever. Basically, I don't know if it's just like we're some weird random city in like America, but so I mean, like I'm pretty normal for like watching all that stuff here. Yo, Presley, yeah, that's just, I don't know, that's just what it was like here. Like, I mean, I did sports, I played sports, I was on the wrestling team, I watched Naruto. I was on the wrestling team, I was on the track and field team. I played tennis, like I longboarded around town in like this little gang that I was a part of. And like I did like boxing when I was a kid. Like we used to box in the front yard and stuff like that. Like trust me, I don't know. I feel like I kind of grew up in a weird place maybe, but yeah, we used to get boxing gloves and like box each other and everything. And like we used to like set things on fire, and I don't know. I grew up with like a weird group of kids, but that's what we did. Like all of us. All right, Laura, you're gonna have to stop spamming all that stuff. Stop spamming it. I don't know. So everybody here, they were like all the athletes were like into anime and stuff like that. So yeah, you talk to people around here, or at least for my graduating class, it's like yeah, everybody was like into anime, kind of. But like I said, it was kind of weird because we grew up thinking it was just all American like stuff. Nobody ever told us it was like Asian or anything. It was just on our TVs. Or at least me, I just was like, oh, it's a cartoon. No one ever told me it was like Asian culture or whatever. Or like Japanese stuff. Yeah, Laura's not too new. She's been here like a few times. She usually talks, but yeah, it's gonna start blocking your messages, Laura. If you keep doing that, it's gonna block your messages. But But yeah, that was my experience growing up here. But yeah, my mom's side of the family, everybody did rodeo, and like I went to like the fair, and I was like raised on a farm as well, and we had goats and chickens, and I had to like learn how to milk a goat, and I had to like go gather eggs, and I had to like clean out the chicken coop, which was the worst job ever. And like I had to show a goat at the county fair like every year and stuff like that. Like I had a weird like life, maybe. Yeah, good old days. Different, you know. I would just say like I've done a lot of stuff, because on top of that, like I've traveled the world too. But got my degree. Yeah, we had animals, and like I said, like my cousins do the rodeo, and they're like barrel racers on like horses, and they like go to whatever. And I have like some cousins who are bull riders, and like one of my uncle, actually, one of my uncles on my mom's side of the family, his thumb is actually, he only has half a thumb because he was a bull rider in the rodeo, and they like cinched their thumb up super tight in the rope, okay? And during his bull ride, he got stuck on the bull and he couldn't get off, and the rope tightened around his thumb and it popped off his thumb. All right, Laura's now Russian. Why do I still live on a farm, like it's still a farm and stuff like that. But yeah, my uncle only has half a thumb because it got popped off because of bull riding or whatever. And like some of my cousins, they have a bunch of like rodeo medals and all this stuff. And like a lot of my family hunts and stuff. I'm not too big into it, but like one of my brothers like hunts like avidly and goes and gets like a bull, like elk and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty Wild West out here, kind of, if you're with the right crew or whatever. Dude, how big is your farm? Like it's like an acre. It's not too big. It's like an acre. But we have like a wood shop because my dad does construction work. He's like a woodworker. So we have a whole wood shop, which you walk in there, it's like you have like drill presses, you have like a lathe, you have like a planer, you have routers, you have like chop saws and splitting like table saws. Like he has like a whole big shop. And then we have like 30 chickens, and at one time we used to have like 100 goats. We had like, in Utah, we were one of the biggest goat farmers in Utah. Actually, we had people that used to come to our house and like buy goats. So that was like something I grew up with as well. It's precious there. Yeah, we got a lot of people do logging, but what they do is they log the forests and then they like replant them or whatever. So it's like the forest has to like reforest places, the Forest Service and stuff like that. But my dad actually was a lumberjack for a while, and he had like a lumber shop and all this stuff. He came from like basically like nothing and like built his whole company or whatever. But I've worked with him a lot too. Like I've built a house from like the ground up. Like I could tell you the whole process. You have to go to the city, you have to get everything like zoned correctly. Oh, you grew up on on a ranch? Oh, nice, Presley. I could probably connect with you quite a bit on that. Do I know Russian? Yeah, like da and niet, basically. I know the word da means yes and niet means no. But I could probably connect with you a lot, Presley, if you grew up on a ranch. Like I said, my whole mom's family, they like, all their walls are just decorated with belt buckles and like saddles that they've won from rodeos. And like my dad just hunts. He hunts like elk every year, and my brother goes on an elk hunt. Usually I go, but all I end up doing is just having to like help them carry out the animal like off the mountain. Sometimes I've had to like dress the animal out, you know what I mean? I hate doing that though. Like I hate dressing the animal. Especially in the freezing cold, I hate dressing the animal, man. I hate it. The blood freezes all over your hands, and you can't wear gloves because you have to be like really precise with your knife. Maybe Gigi. They're replacing doors and windows. Did I just yawn? What? Yawns are contagious? Yeah, they are. Yeah, I had an interesting life. I was somewhere in the middle of the city, some on a farm, somehow like a nerd, but somehow did sports. I don't know. Maybe that's just everybody, but everybody's like so quick to just judge everybody, and like maybe everybody's like so one-worded. Different experience for you? Yeah, maybe everybody has like a very complicated experience on this world, you know. But like I said, just people are like super quick to like judge, and they don't like listen for like a lengthy conversation to understand somebody, you know. Maybe everybody, you can't really put a word on what they are or where they came from and kind of thing, you know. Yeah, maybe that's what it's like, man. Is it just me or is it like super cold in here? Baristas? One second. Never mind, they're busy. It's like freezing cold. Baristas, yeah. Excuse me, baristas, they're busy. But yeah, Pablo, I mean, if you want to, you can tell me like some interesting like stuff you want to share. If there's anything you want to share with the people, you know what I mean? Like, where are you from? I think we know where everybody else is from. But I'm not sure where you're from. We know Gigi's from Great Britain. An Alien, he probably doesn't want me to say. I know Alien likes to keep his stuff secret, so I won't say if he doesn't want me to. But yeah, I think we'd all be interested to know where you're from, Pablo, if you wanted to let us know. Can anybody else do this? I can say Asia? Okay. I also did scouts. You're okay, private for sure. If you don't want to say, that's fine, Pablo. I also did scouts growing up too. So I like had to go and like do all this stuff in the woods or whatever. You know. So I did that also. I had like all these badges. I have like a shirt that has like all these badges on it and stuff. So I went and did that, like whittled in the woods. 22, dude, I'm 32, man. People always say I look like I'm 20, but I'm 30. I'm 33, dude, actually. I've just exercised my whole life a lot. Yeah, I'm older. I've been doing YouTube for like almost 10 years. Yeah, I'm 33, dude. I've had a lot of experiences. A lot. A baby face. Yeah, but you guys, did anybody in here see me with the beard and the long hair? Like 2 months ago, I had hair like down to my middle of my back. You can do the owl nice. Like I had, and my beard went down to like my nipples, like right here. I had a beard that went all the way down to here, and I had hair like all the way down to my middle of my back. If anybody in here has been like on my channel for long. Yeah, it's, your Presley remembers. Yeah, I like, people thought I was like straight up just like a homeless guy. Or like I don't know, they used to call me like Timu Thor or something like that. People used to call me Timu Thor, like Timu Jesus or something. Thanks, Pablo. Yeah, it's a blessing. Yeah, if you just go onto my videos and go like, if you just like look back like 3 months or something, if you just browse back, like you'll see me with like super long hair. People thought I was like in a band, I guess. Yeah, if you just look back a little bit, but I decided to cut it. Look a lot younger. Yeah, it's just, you know, I don't know, I had a beard and it's like now I don't have the desire to grow one anymore. It's like some part of me is like a man or something, wanted to like understand what it was like to have a beard. So I just grew a beard out, and I just grew it out like super long. I was like, okay, now I'm like wizard status, you know? It was just like, oh yeah, now I'm a wizard. But now I don't have the desire anymore. It's like I did it. I don't feel like I have to do it again. So if anybody wants beard advice though, I can give you advice on a beard. You don't use beard oil, use what's it called? Like petroleum jelly on your beard. Don't use beard oil, use petroleum jelly on it. Good Theory. Oh yeah, Pablo, I made a new channel called Good Theory, GUDTHEORY. It's what Alien just said. I uploaded like a gaming. I'm just gonna have it be only gaming. Yeah, it's gonna be only gaming with like clipped videos and stuff. You typed it right? Yeah, it's just like, I uploaded one today because I told everybody. I'm gonna try to do more like professional stuff. I might try to do more editing on my videos and stuff like that. Yeah, I can give you advice on long hair. The one I feel bad that for girls have to maintain like I feel bad for girls having to maintain long hair. Like when it gets long enough, it just starts getting in your food and like it gets in your mouth. Like you go to eat and it comes around, it gets in like your fork and stuff like that. And like you try to like turn your head and it gets in your way when you're like driving. And it's like the only hairdo that you can do that like keeps it out of your way is like a ponytail, but a ponytail's like trashy. So it's like you just wear a ponytail all day. Like I can tell you exactly what it's like to have long hair. The one thing you should do is like if you do grow out your hair is like use it's called leave-in conditioner. Yeah, I had a lot, dude, I had a super big beard. I had a way big beard. Yeah, it's not easy. Like people were like, "Oh, you look like," but the funny thing is like I had to take more time in like the bathroom with like all that stuff when I had like a beard and long hair than when I didn't. It was like I had to go and like comb it off, like comb it every day and brush it every day. Yeah, like it was like I had to do more work. Like people think that having a beard looks like you're trashy, but actually I had to do a lot more work on it. Like I combed it every day. I had to like wash it every day. If you want hair back, use Restore. I've never heard of that. I've heard like of like Bosley hair growth or whatever. Or like people go and they get hair transplants in like Turkey. There was like a big trend on TikTok, if any of you ever do TikTok, where it was like everybody was like going to Turkey and getting like hair transplant things where it's like they go and they like poke hair into your head or something or whatever. Yo, Biggs, I saw your comment. Yeah, I saw your comment on my channel. Thanks. I hope that video is like entertaining, you know? I tried to do an entertaining video. Yeah, it looks kind of gross. Like they take hair transplants and like for bald people and they use like a needle and they poke like hundreds of and thousands of hairs, like tens of thousands all over your head. And so it like regrows and it's like, they take hairs out and they like poke them into your head to like have you regrow your hair. It was like a big trend on TikTok for a while. Waiting for at least 7 days. I don't know, yeah. I used to watch TikTok a lot. I actually have like a TikTok with like a bunch of stuff on it, but. Oh, you thought using the green screen was cool? Yeah. I used to do that all the time. You know what I mean? I used to use the green screen all the time, but it's just like, I thought I would just change it up. So I started doing like views of me like in the room, you know, and I tried to make like a scene with like different things and stuff like that. Like nerdy stuff, you know, like swords and like I have like a big cross that's like a painting I did there and stuff like that. And then some like weird geometry stuff. I actually donated my hair, or I'm going to. The hair that I cut off, the people said I could donate it or whatever to somebody who needs like a wig or something. So I donated it. Does anybody in here ever listen to Phonk? Phonk? That's like my big thing nowadays. All I listen to like when I go to the gym is like Phonk. Be back? All right, for sure. Yeah, I try to. I mean, you ask a lot of deep questions, man, and I definitely try to like answer your stuff, but you know what I mean? Like I'm already kind of like that. Like I've tried to like figure all that stuff out, you know? I think there's an answer for everything. It's obnoxious for you? What's obnoxious for you, Gigi? Yeah, we'll see how that video does, like if people actually engage with it, you know what I mean? And I'll just keep doing videos like similar to like mashups like that kind of stuff on that channel. But like I said, I'm gonna keep this one the same. I'll just have it be like chaos and stuff. Phonk, oh, it's obnoxious for you, Phonk is? Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know why I like it. Just like very intense. Like if I'm at the gym and if I put that music on at the gym, it like drives me insane. I can like push up extreme amounts of weight if I'm like listening to Phonk. Do you guys ever feel like life is a dream? Here we go. Biggs has got the question, guys. Do you think our brains are capable of thinking more than what the timeline of life naturally allows us to think? Tried death metal? Yeah, I used to listen to the Death Clock. It was death metal. Like, I used to watch the show Death Clock all the time. That was like my favorite show. I'll tell you what I think, Biggs. I think that everything in life has like sort of a beginning and an end, but they're a part of the same line. It's like the beginning and the end are kind of the same thing because where you begin tells you everything you need to know for like how something's gonna end. So it's like a straight line is basically like a circle kind of thing. So what that means is that like life already knows everything to make it feel like life for you. Or like life is gonna tell you everything that will make it real for you. Yeah, it's a circle or whatever. Like, what's a better way to put this? Life already knows you perfectly, basically. So it knows exactly what to do for you to feel like this is life. It's just natural. But that means it's like there is reality. And it's like reality is this thing that is going to give you as much information for you to like understand it unto your understanding. So it's like, I think that our brains are connected to something bigger, like understanding everything. But at the same point in time, we can't experience everything. So we're given, like, we only experience enough to actually feel alive, basically. If we experience too much, then we would be devoid of existence. So life knows exactly how much, like, you have for you to understand and process and notice something as real. That's what I think, at least. So it's like at the same time, you can think bigger than what you like are capable of, but at the same time, life already has like a plan for you, basically. Just because it's like, I don't know, if you're like familiar with philosophy, you go into like these things called like predeterminism, which means that everything is already known. It means that like from the beginning, like everything is known, right? And so it's like you have no free will. Is there always more to think about? I think so. But do you remember what we talked about like the other day? I said like God's like a mirror. Whatever you put in front of it, it's going to like emphasize. So it's like you could say like there's nothing to think about, and in the terms of God, that's going to be true. That's what I think. I think that God is like a mirror, kind of. So whatever you put in front of it, like whatever statement you put in front of it, it's going to be like, it's going to like emphasize that statement and like understand the statement so that its response makes the statement like house some truth. Every statement has like some truth. Because that is just like God, because God is in everything, basically. But at the same point in time, you can't experience that, otherwise you wouldn't be able to function in reality, basically. It'd be too much information. So you have limitations, because if you had too much information going on, then you wouldn't be able to experience anything. You'd be overwhelmed. But that was like an interesting question, because it's like I know I've said this in like more clear ways, you know? You feel really blank unless you're with your boyfriend. That's cool, you have a significant other. Congrats, kudos. I've tried my whole life, but I've never really met anybody that I mesh with that well. It's like in college I had like a lot of flings with people, but I don't know. I always had like something that was like holding me back from like being in a relationship with somebody, whether it's like some attribute that I have, or like some deficiency, or some like, you know, overpronounced quality. I'm not sure. But I've been in like flings, basically, you know, with like people at like after like parties and stuff like that, you know, or whatever in college. But I've never really had a girlfriend. But that's cool though. Yeah, okay, I can kind of explain that one, Biggs. Like, think of it like this. That's cool, Gigi. I'm super glad. I'm super glad that you have somebody that makes you happy, and like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's got to at least know somebody that's been in a good relationship. You know, everybody at least knows somebody. That's cool. Do I feel like everything in life is something that could have not happened? Like, listen to this. Like, God is like a point that exists that's infinite density. So it's like from that point, basically everything has already happened, because it contains all the information of everything that has happened. But it can understand that without ever that happening. So at the same point in time, from God's perspective, it's happened, but it never happened at like either. And that's for everything. That's why I said God's mostly just like a mirror, because eventually you can like go over the absolute value and everything just becomes reflective in life. Like whatever you're trying to talk about, if you get over the idea that it's like operates on some complex manner, it just becomes like a reflection, basically. So yeah, as much as everything's happened, like nothing's happened from that point of view. And that's like using the equations like E equals MC squared. Yeah, like a hive mind, it's like everything if you think of it like that. But like including everything, not just people. It's like everything. Because everything is connected in time. Like as soon as you add time, basically everything is connected and like came from the same place or whatever. So it's like everything is everything, basically. But that's like what they teach in yoga, and they say to experience that you have to have like you have to overcome your ego, and your ego is something that blocks you from like the idea that things are unified or connected across time. And the less of an ego that you have, the more that you're able to see connections and understand the unity between all things, basically. Because your ego is what makes you hold on to the differences and separation of things. Now, don't get me wrong, I think it's important to have like some sense of separation. And I think that that's how we experience life, and that's like physics, basically. It's like we have separation of things, and matter has antimatter, which allows, us to have a feeling of reality. You don't have an ego. Some people would say that's good, but I think ego is something that's impossible to not have. It's like, to an extent, everybody will have like some ego, So. And Presley, if you're still here in chat, I saw that you sent me an email, so it just notified me if you're still here. Biggs, I want to be able to answer that one question, like, do you think our brains are capable of thinking more than what the timeline of life naturally allows us to think? I understand exactly what you're saying. So like, there's like a perfect way to say something, and it's like if you say it the perfect way, it like makes sense without having to explain it. It's like the explanation is included within the actual statement itself. And so I'm thinking of the way to state this. I should have been a college professor. Well, I still could be. Yeah, Presley, it just came on my notifications. I saw it, so I got it. Excuse me? Is it colder in here today?
It's freezing.
Okay, I was like, it feels like cold.
Is there a way we can control it? No, I've already been asked.
Oh, you got asked already?
Yeah, I there's no way.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, no problem.
I'm actually how tired we are.
But yeah, Presley, I got your email. I like Biggs, I could put it in like the way the Bible puts that question. Like the Bible says, like, God knows you perfectly and won't give you any more of a challenge than you can like overcome, basically. It's basically saying that, but it's like, I'm not using the quote from the Bible. It's like, you know exactly, I'm trying to think like how to state it, but it's basically just like what the Bible says. God knows you perfectly, so you won't be given anything that you can't like overcome. But in like how you worded it, like does your brain actually limit like how much you can think, and are we capable of like thinking bigger than that kind of thing? So I try, Biggs. Like I try, man. It's just what works for me, you know what I mean? Like I found out what doesn't work, and it's like what doesn't work is like not trying. You know, like I'm gonna try something, whatever it is. You know, it's like I gotta keep trying, whatever it is. So that's all I do is I just keep trying. Like if this works out, that's cool. You know what I mean? Like if it's just something where I meet like great people and have good conversations, then that's what it is. You know, but I don't know. I try, man. I definitely try. The coffee's like the staple of the day, though, for sure. Do you guys not have like speakers in here? Can you not connect to it?
Do you want it off?
No, I was wondering, I was like, oh, why aren't they playing it over like
Yeah,
the
so
loudspeakers?
to one of our speakers and are playing our own music. But do you want us to change it?
No, I was like, oh, why? They must not know the password into like the Bluetooth here or something.
This is like a corporate coffee shop. We don't know anything. Like we just.
Oh, do they give you like a Spotify list you can play or something?
Yeah.
Oh, they do?
It's on like the thing in the office. It's just not working.
Oh,
I hear nothing is working. So it is our own thing.
yeah, you're fine. I'm not gonna tell you guys what to do in your shop.
Huh?
I said I'm not gonna tell you guys what to do in your shop.
Yeah, but if it's bothering you,
No, it's not.
if it's bothering the listeners.
Oh no, they're like, we're at the mercy of you. Don't ever think it's like the other way around. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm streaming. I'm gonna, please. Will the Earth ever be a massive water world like the United States ever be called an island? It's crazy. Yo, what's up, alien? Welcome back. Have you ever seen the movie Waterworld? Biggs? It's like this. It's like a movie where it's like the whole planet turns like the whole planet. It's what it's called is turning into a blue planet. It's like when all the ice melts and there's like no land and everybody lives on ships and like there's no plants and stuff. And this guy, he grows like gills behind his ears. He's like a mutant that's like born in this new world. That was a childhood favorite. Yeah, Waterworld. I used to watch it when I was a kid too on like cable television. Gigi, I'm not gonna tell you who to love or whatever. If you like somebody, then you like somebody. Like everything is an experience. Kevin Costner, yeah, I think that's who it was. Yep. Biggs, I actually saw some scientist the other day that was like, he was like saying how dangerous that is. You watched it on TV when you were in school? Yeah, I watched it just like in my house on TV, like cable television or something. But I actually saw some scientist the other day that was like, posted how dangerous, they call it like a blue planet. And it's like too hot and stuff like that for like things to live on. The fortress was cool in the climax, yeah. They're like all trying to save a tomato plant or whatever. Hey Gigi, your message got flagged. Let me know if you want me to show it or not. I don't care, but it like flagged your message. YouTube did. I had nothing to do with it, but I can like unflag it, but if you really want to say that to everybody. But yeah, I remember watching that movie. I watched a lot of TV. I watched a lot of TV as a kid growing up. I used to watch like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Kids WB, the History Channel, what else? The Travel Channel and the Food Channel. But that's what I used to watch. And like the Sci-Fi Channel during like Halloween because they had like all the sci-fi movies on or whatever. Does Utah have any museums? We have like we have pioneer stuff, and we have like it's called like the Golden Spike. Travel and Living National Geographic. Yeah, I used to watch like Nat Geo and stuff. Traveling and living channels like Home Network and stuff. Yeah, there's some museums here. There's like the Golden Spike, which is like where the East and the West railroads met or whatever. If your boyfriend really is 6'8", that's massive, Gigi. I had some friends who were super tall because in college, I lived with like the basketball players. And so like I always felt like I was around a bunch of Amazons. Like we'd go to parties and stuff, and I was like the short kid, and it was all girls. Like it wasn't just guys that were like 6'6". It was like I went to parties and it was just me, and I'm like I'm like 5'10" or whatever, 5'11", and there's like 6'6" girls all over the place. And I was like, geez, I'm like so short. You're 6'5", dang. You play basketball? If you don't, you should. But yeah, I've been around like super tall girls or whatever, like, or guys, like even just like, cause I lived with all the sports kids in college, all the basketball players, and like I lived with like a football player who was like a wide receiver or whatever. Everything is regional. Yeah, well, I don't know. TV has changed because now it's all like on demand. Everybody just has streaming services. Everybody just watches YouTube or like Hulu or Amazon or Netflix. Like, I feel like nobody has cable anymore. You know? Like, I don't think anybody has cable. Well, I'm super short to you then, Gigi. Like, yeah, I'm like 5'11". 5'10" and a half, basically, or something. But then to you, I'd be like a shrimp. I'm used to it though. I'm used to being like smaller, just because I've lived with athletes my whole life. What's a tomboy? It's like a girl who does like boy things. A tomboy's like a girl who like, okay, she like does wrestling because that's like a boy sport. She does like, she dresses in jeans. They're like baggy because those are like boy things. She like is into like, I don't know, she's into like boy stuff. That's what a tomboy is. You're 5'10" as well, nice. Like worldwide, Gigi, Alien and me are pretty tall. That's above average. Yeah, I'm above average too, like, but it's still not like super tall, but definitely like, I think the world average is like 5 foot or something like that. Cause once you get down into like the Philippines, it's like everybody's only like 5 foot tall. Like so the world average is like taken down by that. Yeah, but it's not just they like look boyish, it's like they are like boyish. Like they just do things that boys do. That's what a tomboy is. It's like everything they like doing isn't girl stuff. And a guy who does girl stuff, when I was growing up, you just called them girly. Like he's super girly or whatever. Biggs, I'm still so stuck on that question. I think I said it. I'm just getting stuck on it. I'm just getting like hung up on that question. Must be 5'7" femboys. can tell you guys like some interesting stories like when I was in college. I used to party a lot. Like I'm surprised. I'm like, my college was like national. Have you guys ever seen National Lampoon? I used to play this game called VR Chat. If you guys know what that is. I used to play this game called VR Chat, and like everybody used to like tell me I needed to find a femboy. I was like, what the hell? I like stumbled into some weird like group of kids, and they all told me that. I was like, I'm out. I was like, I'm out of here. But yeah, I'll tell you some funny college stories. Like I used to go partying like every weekend, and like one time I went to this dance. I used to love going to dances. Have you ever seen the movie Labyrinth when the girl was babysitting and that wizard guy stole her baby sibling? I've never seen Labyrinth before. But I went to this dance. Here's my experience with like a femboy or something like that. I'm just bad at relationships. And it's like, I got to the point where it was like, I despised relationships like so much. It was just like, I was against every kind of relationship, you know? Because I was just like, man, that's like so out of like my cards, you know? But, and I was just like, I'm gonna be a monk. Like for a while, guys, I like lived like a monk and was just like, okay, like I'm gonna be a super monk kind of guy. And I just like studied like religion stuff and like just did like practice like martial arts basically for like 6 years. Cause I was like, I'm basically at like practicing, what is it called? Like abstinence. I was like, I'm basically practicing abstinence. So I was like, I might as well just be a monk. And I was like talking like in poems and stuff. I don't know. I've just never had luck with girls. But in college, I used to go to these dances all the time. I went to this one dance and this one kid was like, hey, do you have any like more beer or something like that? I was like, yeah, in my car. And so we like went back to my car and we got in the car and we're like sitting there talking and stuff like that. And I'm like, we're like drinking beer or whatever. And then he goes and he brushes his hand through my hair. And he's like, you have such nice hair. And I was like, dude, I was like, it's time to go. I was like, it's time to get out of the car, man. It's time. I was like, yeah, I was like that. I'm out. I'm out of here, dude. Like I respect everybody, but here's my thing. I respect everybody and like whatever you want to do, like I don't give a shit. Like it's like me being in my philosophy class. Maybe I haven't found the right person. Yeah, probably. You drink vodka, hopefully not like cheap. I used to love like Grey Goose and Patron or whatever, but I would just straight up like, I lived with like frat kids. We would just straight up drink bottles. And they were like all football players, so they're all huge, so they could handle like a half a liter kind of people. And then like somebody would literally have to take care of people. This was like a weekend thing. But yeah, I told that guy, I was like, all right, I was like, we're done, man. I was like, I had a few experiences with like gay kids, like hitting on me. Do you notice how opposites, you get the $100 stuff? Dang. Yeah, but you have to understand that it's like two things are one. It's like the old saying, like everything almost has a saying in this world. And it's like you just have to understand and be able to agree with people. Sometimes the hardest thing when you're trying to be creative is just to agree with people. Like that's something that is difficult for me to do. Sometimes it's just like, okay, I'm going to agree with the narrative, but I just hate like the fact that a lot of times like the narrative is very punishing. Like the truth is very punishing, and the truth can almost hurt because it just means that we have a menial existence. Like as soon as you introduce like floury substance, that's how you make a pizza, is with just, you know what I mean? You have to add some flour to the water. But most people, they just like to flood you with the truth like it's like water, and you just drown in this pool of knowledge. And the truth, then all of a sudden you become overwhelmed and you begin sinking. But I like to add some flour into things and try to bring out the good and try to connect things everything to like a higher power, because I do think that it is just as true. But you have to understand then, so what I'll say to you is just like the beginning of a line is the same thing as the end of a line, because all the information of everything is contained in the beginning. So the beginning is the end. If you describe heaven, you create hell, because hell is in the opposite description of heaven. So hell is in heaven, basically. Hot is in cold, because you know the opposite. It's not necessarily that hot is cold, but cold is in the notion of hot, because it's contained within the information that's given. So you have to understand that there are separations between things in this world, and it has to do with physics and the things going at the speed of light, and they can't travel past the speed of light because they become infinite mass, which allows you to experience the separation of things. And it's because the separation of objects and of elements and different things like that, or you know what I mean? So it's like then you're able to experience reality, basically. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. And it's like good to be able to understand the opposites in things, but it's also good to understand that it's like every opposite basically is the same thing as its opposite. Like to a degree, you know what I mean? A lot of people call God a devil, because it's like, why does all this stuff happen or whatever? Like, is God benevolent or is God maleficent? Kind of thing. Basically, like, does God rule or does God allow freedom? But yeah, being able to be like a good orator, which is just being able to like talk and expound upon issues, is being able to understand how to like separate different qualities of an argument, being able to understand complexity, but then being able to get over complexity to understand everything that's complex has to have a root base in simplicity, which means that it's just a form of understanding for somebody or a perspective somewhere of something. Every argument can be redirected into some sort of point, which basically just becomes, reflective, like I said. God is everything. That's why we're incapable of perceiving it, because it's like you can't experience everything at once. If you did, you'd be dead. Like life isn't about experiencing all that stuff, Life is basically being the reason you exist is because you aren't everything. You're separated out from things. Basically. That's how you can have experience. That's why everybody says be able to take the good with the bad kind of thing. At least that's what I think, okay? You know what I mean? That's what I think. And that's after taking how do I not get frustrated or in an argument? You might just have to yell for them. I think they're in the back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I can wait.
I don't know if they have a bell or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, I'll
How do I not get frustrated? I've learned, man, the one rule I have is never to be violent, basically. You know what I mean? That's my one ultimate rule. I think that sometimes it is very hard to agree with people. I understand that. But what I think is probably the best way to get to a place where you can agree with people and you can agree with common narratives without feeling like your voice is being stolen, without feeling like godliness is being taken out of your life, is by having some place that you can express yourself privately. If you have some way to express yourself privately in your life, whether it's a journal or whether it's your own YouTube channel, or you can keep things private on there, or whether it's something like that, if you have some way to privately express your thoughts and what you think, then it becomes a lot more easy to accept things that other people think without getting upset. because you're able to say that you've said what you wanted to say. You've been given a chance to speak your thoughts, and now it's okay if you listen to somebody else. Biggs, you have a lot of thoughts that are like very similar to me. For you it's S. I'm not sure what S stands for, Gigi. Oh, and you just changed your icon. But yeah, that's what I would say, Pablo. That's why I don't disagree with people, is like find some way to express your stuff, like privately somehow, whether it's in a journal or something. And then as soon as you felt like you've been able to say what you need to say, then it's easier to listen to other people, especially if you feel like they're taking creativity out of the world, or like some sense of divinity out of the world, you know? Because the world is divine, like life is divine kind of thing. It has to be. I don't know why your profile picture changes. But yeah, that's an interesting thought, Biggs. Like, it just makes me think of like complexity. Like, it's like trying to come up with newness to an extent. It's like newness can be something that's projected in every direction. And as soon as you create the idea of the future, then obviously it's the past. I understand exactly what you're saying. So how do you live in the time when it's like you're always ahead of like the past? I've thought of that before. And what I came to the conclusion is like all you're thinking of is noise and silence. What if the future just represents noise? And what if the past just represents silence, like quietness kind of thing? And what if thought is like actually the idea that we have like power within our reality? But I've come to understand that it's just like silence itself is in some way like allowing more things to be. So then you could almost say that the past actually allows as much to be as the future. And if you say enough things, then eventually you'll come to a point in time where you allow everything to be. And so then the past allows things to be by its creation. So the past is the future. I'm trying to like put that in words, but that's what I think is eventually it's like drawing a big enough line. You don't understand the difference until you come into language, which creates a big enough dialogue that you're able to like draw this line, however the shape of the line is, but eventually you come to the point on the end, and then you understand the beginning is there as well. So then the future and the past are one. But this journey that you painted from beginning to end is like the more chaotic something is, the more that it represents ingenuity, creativity. But what I've come to like understand is that, is intelligence just like a bug? Is it the idea that we somehow like have a flaw in our lives, in our life? What color is a mirror? Well, science technically says a mirror is green, but I don't know. I could probably say something interesting about that if you wanted me to. Obviously, I can say like a bunch of interesting stuff about whatever. It's a good view to look at it. Thanks, Pablo. And Gigi, I don't know what's going on with you and your boyfriend, but cool, I guess. But yeah, Biggs, I could probably say something neat about it. Like, they say a mirror is green, and that's what science says. If you put two mirrors like, and they're reflecting each other, they say that it turns green. I'm sure I could probably come up with some. Like I said, I'm pretty good at making anything sound like anything. You know, like I'm sure I can make something that sounds neat. But like I said, no matter what shape everything is, it has a beginning and an end. And it will ultimately just kind of like collapse into basically something common or simple, you know, something one-sided, perhaps. So then what color is a mirror if no matter what words you use or lines you draw, no matter what material is here, what color is a mirror? Well, I'll tell you, the color of a mirror isn't necessarily like a color, it's more of like a shape. It's the shape like you. So anyways, it's like the color of an idea. That's the color of a mirror. What color is an idea, you say? Well, let me think and see if I can see. Maybe above this thought bubble, there will be some color you can see. I don't necessarily know, but maybe it's like the color of where you go. We don't necessarily know until we get to the end. That's the color of a mirror, my friend. Somebody, you can clip that if you want. There's some like original impromptu poetry for you. Made up, guys. But that's, like I said, if you want me to say something like interesting, I can. It's an open space. Love the share of knowledge. Me too. Like I said, I can say something pretty like basic, like they say the color of a mirror is green, or I can give you that like minute long poem that I just said, whichever you like more, my friend. Is a mirror the first recorder? Let me ponder a moment, my friend, and see, is the mirror the first recorder? Was it a recorder for me? Well, what are recorders? They're things that listen. Perhaps then, if we say that a mirror isn't just two dimensions, maybe if we can go inside the mirror, well, what does that say? That mirrors are like portals. Portals somewhere, but how is that? A mirror is like as thin as 50 hairs. Well, anyways, I'll tell you that a mirror is deep, and somehow you can take a step inside and see that a mirror was the first recorder for you, for me. Anyways, it goes to the fact that all life is light. And eventually, in the beginning, everything was reflected. And all this light that surrounds, it goes through all the clouds, it goes through all the grounds, it sprouts like trees, and it flies like bees. All this light is reflected, you see. So the first light was a mirror. And maybe so are you, so are me. Like I can just go on, just make whatever you want me to say, man. You can just give me prompts and I'll just make up stuff. God's spirit was the first recorder, then the brain. But it listened, you see, because all potential could be. So the first mirror was a recorder because it contains you and me. There you go. Whatever you want, dude. I'm like, I should be like a white rapper or something. I actually have, they're kind of funny. My brother actually says he likes some of the songs I make, but I have like a music playlist where I take like different instrumentals, right, from like different artists, and I'll just make up songs to like their beats or whatever. Because making a beat, for me, like making a beat is super hard, but coming up with like lyrics for me is easy, you know? All right, Gigi, I hope you had a good time listening. You know what I mean? Like I always say, hopefully there was something here that just like made your day, you know what I mean? Like, or it was interesting. Like maybe it doesn't have to be anything, but it was just like, hey, that was interesting. Like this guy was like saying all this stuff and somehow it all rhymed on the spot. It was no bluff. It was true. I did it just for you. So see you, Gigi. Bye-bye. But yeah, Biggs. Everybody who wants to, say goodbye to Gigi. This has probably been my longest stream in here, guys. We've had engagement this whole time. It's been good.
Bro, I said, they said, and then he goes, I know, and I go, but I do like as a joke, and then he didn't say anything. I said, oh, but there's fish. Yeah, there's
Well, guys, I don't know if I should end this stream. Biggs has got me going though, especially with that thought of like. Let me tell you this, like, you are everything, but life knows exactly what to say so that you are you. Basically, there you go. There's your loop around mechanism for your like, can you think more than you can think kind of thing. You are everything, but you know exactly what, you know what I mean? Exactly what to be for you to be you. But anyways, guys, I think I might call it a night or something, you know what I mean? Like we've been going for like an hour and like 20 minutes. So it's been a good stream. But I'd like to say goodbye to everybody. And yeah, go check out the new channel. If you like gaming content, I'm just gonna try to make it funny. I'm just gonna try to do purely gaming content there. It's not gonna be like this philosophy or like spoken word or like impromptu verse kind of stuff. You know, it's gonna be more like just like laid back, funny things where I do like little comedy skits while playing video games and stuff like that. So it's gonna be a lot less like intellectual kind of stuff. But yeah. Anyways, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed the stream, and I hope to see you all next time. Yeah, I think God is like a being for sure, but everything exists in it, but it's like a life form. We can't see that though, for sure. It's bigger than everything. And we're so small, but at the same point in time, like, we're as big as that. But anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna call it. I think I'm gonna call the stream and call it a good night. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll do a stream. These weekend streams are gonna be much more laid back, probably a lot less gym stuff and whatever, more like just streams in the coffee shop and stuff. But I'm glad you've all showed up. Anyways, guys, it's been fun, and I'll see you next time.